You thought it's easy to detect a green flag in any BL manhwa? You think that green flags are really predictable with obvious standards and easily detectable? No. You know why? Because two crowned green flags in BL manhwas are actually two very different kind of green flags, okay? And today in this video we are going to somehow compare these two types of green flags. Of course, Yo Taeju from the BL manhwa Low Tide in Twilight, and I think Kang Dooshik from the BL manhwa Pearl Boy. As you may already guess, these two are very different kind of green flags. Both of them are labeled as Korean national green forests, but very different from each other when it comes to being a green flag. Hi, I'm Cosplay and welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy that you're here today. In this YouTube channel, we do character analysis or character comparisons or any types of, juicy discussions about my favorite BL manhwas or my favorite BL characters. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video if you liked it, and share your opinion with me in the comment section. Now, yes, of course, when we speak about green flags in BL manhwa, many names rise up, okay? But when it comes to narrowing down the two most famous, most loved among the audience green flags, we have Dooshik and Taeju, like Dooshik as the perfect boyfriend and Taeju as the perfect husband. Like, if you read these two BL manhwas, Low Tide in Twilight and Pearl Boy, you understand that we can have two very different kind of green flags, but they both still be loved and appreciated by the audience, okay? So I'm going to explain this matter in 4 points in my own academic opinion. So let's start with point number 1. I call this point or this discussion redemption, the idea of redemption, okay? And when it happened for these two characters, Dooshik had this redemption time or this cycle of redemption before meeting Juha, back when he was in prison, and the experiences that, like, Dooshik was a green flag even before meeting Juha. Of course, I'm not saying Dooshik was a very good person before meeting Juha, but he was a normal man. Like, yes, at the beginning of Pearl Boy, he is a very greedy and like money oriented, and he was like that, but he wasn't a bad person. Like, he was kind, he was supportive, even he chose to help Juha at the beginning, even if his initial intention was his own benefit, but he wasn't hurting Juha, like he wasn't being harmful. We can say that Dooshik was a redeemed and green flag character even before meeting the other character who is Juha. I mean, if you remember, Dooshik has done many awful things too, but he did all of them in order to protect Juha. He wasn't trying to hurt Juha, he was trying to always protect him. So we can say that Dooshik is a good green flag from the heart, from the nature, from his inner existence. He's a good person, okay? But it's not the same when it comes to Taeju, okay? Taeju is not a very good person at the beginning. Like, he is selfish, he is brutal, like he doesn't know consent. Like, Taeju was a very bad person at the beginning. I cannot say that Taeju was a good person in soul and existence. No. We all know, we are perfectly aware of what Taeju did at the beginning of BL manhwa Low Tide in Twilight, and even in the middle of it. Like, he's not a good person. He is so self-centered, and he is some kind of animalistic character. Like, he just does whatever he wants, So at first, Taeju wasn't a good person at all. He hurt Yoon. I will call him Yoon. I love this power button. Yoon. Like, he hurt Yoon many times. Not only Yoon, he hurt many people on the way. So yes, unlike Dooshik, Taeju is not a good person in nature. Okay, somehow Taeju abuses his powers and his dominance as an alpha. Unlike Dooshik, Taeju starts being a better person, a good person for the sake of Yoon. He becomes a better person after meeting Yoon, okay? So somehow Yoon becomes the reason for Taeju to become a better person. But Dooshik wasn't like that. Like Dooshik was a kind and capable and somehow strong in core even before meeting Juha. After Juha, he became even better person. But he was a good person before that. But Taeju was a monster before Yoon, okay? But slowly and slightly, Yoon makes a better man out of Taeju. And Taeju really wanted that. So when it comes to the question of redemption, Dooshik was a redeemed character before Juha. But Taeju redeemed himself because of Yoon. That's the difference. Point number 2, okay? We talked about selfishness. I said that even Dooshik was a very greedy and selfish person. Taeju, awfully selfish. But again, number 2 is 2 different kind of selfishness, okay? Like I call it innocent selfishness and like harmful selfishness. Like Dooshik is selfish for money, okay? He's not going to hurt anyone. Like if I remember correctly, he hears about the pearls and everything. Even at first when he meets Juha, he thinks that he can gain money from Juha's ability and pearls and everything. But he is not doing anything harmful for it. Like we cannot say that he abuses Juha for that. But Taeju's selfishness is really destructive. Like Taeju uses Yoon's body, Yoon's soul, like Yoon's mental health, like he destroys another person in order to gain what he wants, you know? As I said, his selfishness made him abuse his protective powers as an alpha, okay? Like if I always think, like you can see here, like I really love Taeju and I love Dooshik, but I admit that if Taeju didn't fall in love with Yoon, he could make Yoon's life another hell. Like Yoon could, I don't want to use that term, like Yoon would drown himself again if Taeju kept going on like that, if Taeju would never fall in love with Yoon, you know? So it was like somehow Yoon's luck that Taeju fell in love with him, because he could be even worse when it comes to being selfish like that. But then when they both, like Dooshik and Taeju, fall in love, they become the most selfless protective creatures on the earth. Okay, like Dooshik had this kind of kindness and protectiveness even from the beginning, but Taeju becomes someone else. Like I can say that Taeju's protectiveness over Yoon is even more than Dooshik, because of course it's an Omegaverse and he's an alpha. Like he has this kind of instincts, you know. Omegaverse is really different from the real world. But when they fall in love, they both completely change their selfish natures and become the most selfless and protective and caring characters and partners for the ones they love, which is really fascinating. Now we have number 3, and I call it life path. Okay, I will start this one with Taeju. Taeju loved his life before Yoon. Like I think he even said that I love being a gangster, I love my life. Okay, so in his mind, in Taeju's mind, he was in the right path of life before meeting Yoon. Okay, but Dooshik, he didn't know what he was doing with his life. Like he was just some poor and greedy and helpless guy who doesn't know what he wanted from life, and he gains this consciousness, this some sense of purpose after meeting Juha. But that's the interesting part. Like when Taeju, who loves his life, who thinks that he knows his true life path, meets Yoon, he understands that in order to be with Yoon, in order to be a better man for Yoon, for the family Taeju wanted to build with Yoon, he understands that even though he loves being a gangster, he has to leave that path behind. He has to stop being a gangster, you know? So somehow Taeju have to leave the right path for the path that he wanted to make with you. It was not like that for Dooshik. Like Dooshik had no path. Like he was just moving along with the streams of life and just being aimless and purposeless. But after meeting Juha, with Juha, he finds the right path and follows it. So somehow when it comes to this, when I thought about it, Taeju sacrificed a lot in order to become a better man. Of course, because Taeju wasn't a very good man at first, unlike Dooshik. So somehow, for gaining the title of one of the best green flags in the world of BL Manhwa, I think Taeju sacrificed much more than Dooshik. Like, he literally stopped doing what he really loved in life. He changed the path of the life he always wanted, and he was doing great in it, as he thought, for Hyun. Like, he sacrificed a lot for love. So that's really admirable. That's really something to appreciate about Taeju. You know, it's not easy to leave something you are good at it and you really love doing just for one person, but Taeju did it. So that's one of the great points about him, despite all the horrible things he did. Now, number 4, last point, I will call this one development. There are no doubts that both Dooshik and Taeju, as dominant tops, both of them are really confident. They both are very confident men. They have this amazing charisma and confidence in themselves, but one of them stays like that and the other one somehow shatters alongside this way that they have to go in order to become a better person. Like, Dooshik has this vibe of I love myself. Like, I'm great, I'm capable of doing many things, I can protect my loved one, you know. He has this vibe of I love who I am and I will stay like this. I will only grow better, but I already love who I am. Dooshik has this kind of confidence, but Taeju also has this kind of confidence at first. Like, he is like, I love myself. Now, for Taeju too, like, at first he is all about himself. He is so full of himself, just like Dooshik. But he is like, I love myself, I'm an alpha, like, I'm great, I must have everything no matter the cost, I will do everything no matter how many people I hurt. He's like that. But along the way, like, as it goes forward, the story goes forward, Taeju shatters inside. Like, he becomes the person who says, I hate myself. I hate myself for what I did to Yoon. I hate the man I was. I hate everything I did. You know? Like, the self-love for Taeju becomes self-hatred. It never becomes like this for Dooshik. Dooshik's self-love is from the beginning until the end, but not for Taeju. We haven't seen a panel in Low Tide and Twilight that Taeju cries and yells at Yoon that you should hate me. You should hate me. Like, it's a great development for Taeju to accept. Like, I love this about Taeju. Taeju never denies all the horrible things he did. He even says that you should hate me. You can kill me. I allow you. I give you any permission if you try to kill me. I deserve to be killed by you. He says this to Yoon, you know? So it's a great redemption arc for Taeju. No matter if the majority of BL Manhwa fans says that Jo Jae-kyun from Jinx has the greatest redemption arc, I say Taeju has the greatest redemption arc so far. I want to put it more easily into words. Dooshik was a person for Juha who came in Juha's life to solve Juha's problems and make Juha's life a better life. Taeju was the problem itself at the beginning. Like, Taeju was Yoon's problem. Like, it was like Taeju was Yoon's biggest challenge in life. But somehow he became the person who hated himself enough to be a better person for the man he loved. Like, at the end of Low Tide and Twilight, we have to come up with something else for Taeju. Green flag is not enough for him, even especially in the side stories. In the side stories, Taeju, he's like 1,000 green flags, not only one. So, long story short, Dooshik had this title of green flag in the world of BL Manhwa from the very beginning. Like, he was an innate, natural green flag. But Taeju gained this title little by little by fixing himself, by becoming a better person. Taeju gained this title. Again, undoubtedly, Taeju and Dooshik are somehow the pioneers, like the best green flags in the world of BL manhwas. Of course, anyone can have different opinions, but these two somehow always stand at the top when it comes to green flags. But as I explained in this video, one of them was a green flag from the very beginning. The other one was a very bad person who did it in the most amazing way and become a green flag. I love both of them. Like, I love Dooshik, I love Taeju. I love Taeju a little bit more because I appreciate effort. Like, Taeju did a lot. He came a long way to become a good person, a green flag, even a very somehow extraordinary father and husband, you know? So he somehow kick his own ass in order to become a green flag. So somehow in my heart I appreciate Taeju a little, just this much, a little bit more, but I would go to the distance for Dooshik too. Like, he is amazing. We don't have that much characters who are amazing from the very beginning. As I said, yes, Dooshik did a lot of horrible things, but innately, in nature, he's a good person. Thank you so much for watching this video so far. I hope you liked it. Of course, I would love to hear your opinions about this. Like, what do you think about these differences when it comes to being a green flag between Taeju and Dooshik? Don't forget to subscribe Cosplay's channel. I post videos about BL manhwas, even BL animes, comparison and analysis every week, twice a week. So don't forget to subscribe and like this video if you liked it, and stay safe, read yaoi, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.